why you shouldn't get a license for wholesaling real estate. Guys, it's Rick Ginn, and today we're going to go in depth on the upsides and the downsides of why people are considering getting their license for wholesaling real estate. And in the end, I'm going to tell you what my final verdict is. But before we get started, do me a favor, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button to continue to receive the absolute best up-to-date information on wholesaling today. So unless you've been hiding under a rock, you hear this constant discussion in the wholesaling arena, like, you need to get a license. Well, I'm here to tell you is if you are considering getting a real estate license specifically for wholesaling real estate, we've got to talk. So number one, I want you to understand is who is asking you or where are you getting this information that you have to become licensed? So be very careful who you get your information from, because they might have a source to fix your licensing problem, meaning AKA they are the solution to it. So I find it ironic that so many people push you having a license. Let's understand the facts here. A majority of the states are completely legal to wholesaling. I'm not going to get into all the specifics because that would take up the entire video, but over 95% of the country is 100% legal to wholesale real estate without a real estate license. So I hear the argument all the time, well, you need to get out ahead of it. No, you don't. Okay. Getting a license and getting out ahead of it is, in my opinion, a mistake, because you don't hedge the compliance issue by doing it years in advance. Now, if you're in a state and that's the only way you can do it, by all means, get it. That's when you go and do it. But why would you go out and spend all that money to become licensed? So let's go into detail of how this works and what you should consider. So number one, ask yourself, where is the information coming from? If it's coming from an authority that's trying to sell you the solution to licensing, then you already have the answer of what's going on. Remember, over 95% of the United States is completely 100% legal to wholesale real estate without a license. So why would you get a license just for 5% unless you're in a particular state and you have no other requirement? To get the correct answer, go to an attorney or just look up your state statutes to make sure you can legally wholesale real estate contracts. So the next thing you got to do is, okay, you got to ask yourself where you're getting the information. Number two is, why are you considering getting a real estate license? Okay. And most of you are going to fall under like, well, I'm scared. I'm being told I have to do it. Remember, 95%, you're clean to do this. So why are you hedging against 5%? It's ridiculous. If you're considering doing it, unless you have a valid interest in becoming a real estate agent or a broker, it's absolutely nuts to do it. It's the equivalent of going out and get a commercial driver's license so you can drive a truck that you're never going to drive the truck. Remember, if I get trained to drive a truck and get a CDL license or whatever the requirements are for it, it's specialized training for a big vehicle. It's a completely different machine and mechanics, and that's what they're going to train you for. How does that equate to real estate? Think about it. If you study to get a real estate license, you know what they're going to teach you? They're going to teach you how to be a real estate agent. Okay. Ask yourself, did you get into wholesaling to become a wholesaler, or did you want to become a real estate agent or a broker? You have to clearly define that answer. If your answer is to become a wholesaler, why would you consider getting a real estate license? Most likely because somebody's fearing you into it. It's just the truth. In 20 years of me doing wholesaling, I've never, ever considered getting a license, and I'm going to go into detail of why I'm doing it. Now, if you are considering becoming a licensed real estate agent or a broker and you do some wholesaling, it might make sense to blend the two together, but I'm going to be honest with you. It's going to put you in a trap to be like a real estate agent and a wholesaler. And honestly, most people I know got into wholesaling, especially me and everybody I work with, they truly want freedom in their life. They want their time back and they want financial freedom. And I'm going to be honest with you, a real estate agent goes against the grain of what we just talked about there. It is a time-sucking event, and you have to kiss everyone's butt, and very few real estate agents make a lot of money. So once again, please ask yourself why you're considering getting a real estate license. If it falls under the fear category, take note and ask the right questions while you're doing it. So let's talk about some of the upsides if you were to get a real estate license. And remember, a real estate license is geared towards a real estate agent. On the agent side and the brokerage side, it will teach you absolutely zero about wholesaling or any type of real estate investing. It's not going to teach you the details of our contracts. It's going to tell you assignments. You just don't consider them. Guys, once again, you're going to be brainwashed if you become a realtor by getting the real estate license. So the upsides is you can collect commissions. But I didn't get in the wholesaling to collect commissions. I want big fat assignment checks, okay? And number two, a lot of you are going to say, well, Rick, this makes me legal. It solves my problem. Well, let's talk about that. You now satisfy one part of the law, but guess what? You just created an entire new problem in your business. So I'm going to go through it, okay? So you decide to get a real estate license so you can learn how to become a real estate agent, which is an oxymoron in itself. Think about this, guys, okay? You're getting a license so you can make somebody else happy and you get rid of your fear and anxiety. Well, you got new problems. Number one, you become licensed. Now you have to disclose to the world. I mean, everyone, your brother, your sister, your mother, your boyfriend, girlfriend, your husband, wife. You have to tell everybody on a ledge you are a real estate agent. And guess what? Did you want to be a wholesaler or a real estate agent? Okay, I never wanted to be a real estate agent. I don't want to be trained to be one. I think differently than they do. I have no problem with real estate agents. I just don't want to be one. And you got to ask yourself a question. If you start training with them, you are going to become just like them. Okay, disclosures. The biggest killer on disclosures is not only you have to disclose it to everybody you talk to, is number two, is you have to put it on all your marketing material. And a majority of the people that we deal with on Motivated Sellers is they don't want to deal with real estate agents. So now you're being labeled as a real estate agent on your marketing, and you're going to scare off a certain percentage of your clientele, okay? And for that fact alone, I would run from being licensed, okay? Number two, you actually give courts an argument now that you are a professional, okay? You are a licensed professional, and you are going to be held to even a higher accountability standard. How do I know this? Because I've seen actual court cases where a licensed real estate agent is held to a much higher standard than just a regular wholesaler or a real estate investor. Number three, you're getting a boss. Yes. You got into wholesaling so you could get rid of your boss, but then you go and get a real estate license, and now you got a boss. It's called your broker, okay? Your broker has to sponsor you, and the whole idea is your broker is going to make sure you are the responsible party. So think about this for a second. Now I'm getting a boss, and I got into wholesaling so I wouldn't have a boss, and your boss is so they're going to provide you training, they're going to follow up on all your paperwork, and guess what they want? They want a piece of your action. Well, if you're only doing assignment agreements when you start out, they're probably not going to be overly happy with you because you're not earning commissions. And how are you going to pay your broker? They are in a business model. They want agents under them. Typically, they take between 20 and 30% of whatever your commissions are. Well, unless you're going to go out and earn commissions, then I don't know. Are you going to pay them out of your assignments? Then you're going to pay desk fees. And guys, keep in mind, how much does it cost to become licensed? The state exam and stuff is the cheap part. But then you got to go out and get sponsored. And then you got to get, most of them you have to have access to MLS. Our company I have multiple MLS listings, and it's $2,000 to $3,000 per each organization we join. So I pay over $7,000 a year to have my company, my brokerage. Remember, I'm not a licensed agent, but to be part of all those MLSs, it costs $2,000 or $3,000 per system. They're going to charge you desk fees. They're going to charge you for the website. They're in for a business model. And listen, when you come under a brokerage, you are going to be targeted to be charged fees. They have to make a living. Now, some brokerages are going to attract you and say, listen, after your first 80 grand in commissions, then it's 100% you keep it yourself. Well, guys, if you're wholesaling and you're doing assignments, you're not really earning commission, so you're always going to be charged whatever their fee is. It's anywhere from $50 to a couple $100 a month. And guys, these fees are for the rest of your life. So remember we talked about getting ahead on trying to beat the legality of wholesaling by becoming licensed, remember, you're chasing that 5%, unless you're stuck in one of those states that already have something set for it, okay? Not to mention you have to do ongoing education so you can learn to become a better real estate agent. Is that what you're signing up for? I don't want to be a real estate agent. Why do I have to take continuing education? They're only going to teach you real estate agent and broker stuff. It will have absolutely zero to do with wholesaling. And you know what? It's going to take time away from you. It's going to be a time suck. And for that reason alone, I hate this part. The next one, insurance. Yes, you have to go out and get insurance because now you're a licensed professional and you have to get this little thing called E&O, which is errors and omissions. And your broker usually makes you carry it. And it can be anywhere from $30 to $150 a month. In case you say something stupid and get your broker in trouble, then they have to have insurance to cover it. So remember, real estate agents, they're very, there's a lot of litigation on when transactions don't work out, and they always go after the real estate agent and the broker first. Why? Because they have an insurance policy, which is going to make you an extra target. The next thing you got to keep in mind too is if there's ever a complaint, I mean any complaint, it can come from a title company, another real estate agent, it can come from a broker, heck, it can come from a wholesaler. It can come from a buyer, a seller. They file a complaint, it goes to a board, and then you have to appear in front of the board and you have to explain yourself. And guess what? You are at complete risk of any transaction you do. Even if you're doing an assignment agreement that you disclosed you're the real estate agent, is subject to the review with the board and their outcome is final. So if they deem you didn't do something correct with an assignment fee, they can take it away from you. Guys, there's so much stuff you haven't considered when you become licensed. Everybody keeps talking about when you get licensed, it solves the problem. Actually, in my opinion, it creates a new problem for you. The expenses go through the roof, your liability goes through the roof. And let's face it, guys, you are going to be judged by a board for your actions. And I see this all the time. All your marketing, everything's going to make you a target. You kind of have, like, you know where I'm going with this. And if you truly want to be in wholesaling and you want financial freedom and freedom of your time, why in the world would you ever consider training to become a real estate agent? Because you think that umbrella is going to protect you in a current state. And I'm here to tell you, by the time you're done with all the downsides I just went over, the disclosures, the boards, the complaints, the ridiculous amount of fees, the ongoing education, the errors and omissions, is that going to take away from you being the best wholesaler you can? And I'm here to tell you, I think it is a huge mistake to become licensed unless you truly want to do the real estate agent thing. But I'm here to tell you, I feel if you do the dual roles, you kind of get stuck. And you try to wear like two hats. And honestly, it's much easier just to refer realtors to people who need to traditionally list their house and get some sort of marketing fee, because then you don't have to get into the weeds on it. I don't know about you guys, but like, I believe separation is best. So if you're considering getting a license, if you have a spouse, a boyfriend, girlfriend, or a partner, I would make one of them like the broker agent and keep the investor completely separate, because the problem with becoming a licensed professional agent in real estate is, when are you the licensed professional and when are you the wholesaler or the investor? And as long as there's that chance to mix the two up, you're always going to be at risk. And for that reason alone, I would never get a real estate license. Guys, I'm a wholesaler. I'm not a real estate agent. And you need to look at where you're getting your information from. So think about this. If someone's telling you, or you're watching a video and they say, you need to get a license to protect yourself, I want you to go through and look through it and see if they're offering you anything. A lot of these people offer you a brokerage, and guess what the brokerage is? They get a percent when you sign up and you pay all those fees. They get action off all that. So why are they telling you to be a licensed real estate agent? Because it's financially beneficial for them and they feel like they're solving a problem for you. The reality is you're just creating another problem. Guys, let's be a wholesaler. I did not sign up to be a wholesaler to become a licensed real estate agent and learn how to speak like a real estate agent. I want everyone to be a wholesaler. I think it is the path for complete freedom of your life. And I think getting a real estate license is a big mistake. But tell me what you think in the comments. Do you think getting a license is best for you, or do you believe that it would hinder your wholesaling business? I would love to hear your comments on this, and let me know what you think. Guys, do me a favor, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button to continue to receive the absolute best wholesaling information out there. This is Rick, and I'll see you in the next video.